Do you want to convert this 1-year-old bonsai into this 5-year-old bonsai? Watch this episode till the end, where I talk about the tips and tricks of making a perfect looking artistic bonsai. Hello plant parents, I'm Anu Grover and welcome to the freshly baked episodes on My Plant, My Baby. And in these episodes, I'll be touching on the category all about bonsais, and where I'll talk about these 3 tips and tricks you should have to make a perfect looking bonsai like this. But before we do this, don't forget to watch our other episodes and all the categories we have on My Plant, My Baby. And please subscribe to the channel My Plant, My Baby on YouTube and keep giving on your reviews and feedback so that we can make a better content out of it. And here I am sitting right now in one of our poly chambers where we are growing thousands and thousands of bonsais right at Delhi in one of the hottest temperatures here. And if you want to know these tricks which we use at Nurturing Green to make a small bonsai which is this into a very beautiful looking 5-year-old bonsai like this, you need to follow these 3 tips and tricks which will make your bonsai look more artistic. And the first trick and something which is very important to have is to give your bonsai a shape, which means pruning becomes one of the most important elements in the bonsai making. Here I am, and this is our bonsai. If you really want to have a bonsai which is getting thicker and doesn't overshoot, you need to keep pruning it from here all the time. So here if you look at, this bonsai has 1, 2, 3, 4 directions where the leaf is coming in. You don't have to let it grow top. You need to keep it below near the shoots only. Reason is, the more you do it, the bushier it becomes hair. Whenever you give a pruning and a haircut to this plant, it remains like this. The thick stems become more thicker and you go towards this direction. The more stems you will have, the better looking artistic bonsai you can have. So let's go and see how we do this cutting for this plant. So guys, here is this bonsai which I have given a cut. If you look at, I have tried to give this shape here. There I have tried to make a ball here eventually. This is one side, this is one, and this is one. Right? This is already getting a good shape. So you will have 4 different clusters which you can bring in here, and eventually they will become balls at these epicenters. Why it's important to give pruning is, the more you give pruning, the bushier and denser the plant becomes. So if we keep growing it here, the stems will keep getting thicker. You will start seeing the roots coming out of it. Like you can see in these plants also, there's some of the roots which are coming in, and it gets more thicker and there's bigger ball which starts getting developed. So the older it becomes, the better it becomes if you do the pruning right, like what we have done it here. That's my first trick to make a healthy bonsai. The second trick is to feed the plant regularly. A lot of us think that whenever they have bought a plant, सिर्फ पानी डालेंगे और धूप देंगे and the plant will thrive. It's like me asking you कि एक काम करते हैं, आपको proteins नहीं देते हैं. We just keep giving you water and keep giving you, let's say, just the rotis. And I don't give you sabji, I don't give you fruits. You will not grow as a person, right? Same is with plants, you know. These kids will not grow to become a heavy and healthy plants if you don't feed them right. So feeding becomes a very important aspect. You know, a lot of times you can use, if you are a pro gardener and if you have NPKs in liquid forms, you can do the spraying on it. If you are a new gardener or you're the first time bonsai maker, just make sure that you put basa coats on around the plant so that it gives slow releasers. It's a slow releaser basically, and it'll keep feeding the plant regularly whenever you water it. And that's the second trick which is to be done. The third trick, which is very important, is to make sure where is your placement. So अभी गर्मी चल रही है, ficus in high humidity and high temperature moves like a jungly plant. It gives so many shoots if there is a lot of humidity and a lot of heat. And that's why in India, and especially in North India, ficus bonsais do very good. So what you have to do is always make sure that the placement is such where there is a very high humidity and the temperatures even go from 30 to 40 and there's a very bright light. Ideally your balconies, which are south facing ones, let's say, or any balcony where you get a direct sunlight. Even indoors you can keep it, but only where you get direct sunlights and the temperature is from 30 to 40. It likes high temperature. If you bring it at 15-20 degree temperatures, it doesn't give lot of shoots. If there are less shoots, the less plant grows. If the less plant grows, the less thick the stem is, and it takes more time for a bonsai to become as healthy as this is. So if you look at this one, this is because it's been given a lot of heat, a lot of food, and the right time of the pruning. So these are my 3 tricks which you should do to make your plant or your bonsai from this stage to this stage. I'll just do a quick recap. The first point, you got to make sure that you do the pruning right, like this, to give a right shape. You can give multiple shapes depending on your art or your skills on how you want to do it. Second is to make sure that you give the right food. And third is the right placement. It's very important that you give the placement right to the plant. If you don't, even with a good pruning or a good feed, the plant will not thrive. So that's from our side on the 3 tips and tricks. Do let me know if you have a bonsai. Give me a high five if you have one. Give me a no if you don't have a bonsai, and give me a yes if you have a bonsai but you haven't seen that growth happening. And try this nuska to make sure that you grow that heavy bonsai. It will be good for me to know updates, and we will love that if you guys can create more better looking bonsais and boast off to your friends and families and enjoy the beautiful nature around you. That's from this episode. Thank you for watching My Plant, My Baby, and please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so that you keep getting the updates from me. Bye-bye.